Hi everyone, my name is Gray. I'm the dietitian and health coach with MLK Health Center and Pharmacy. I was working on some recipes for our Recipe of the Month Club, and I have to add little nutrition tags, I guess you could call them, and things like vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free. And the gluten-free inspired me to do a video talking a little more about that, because I think gluten-free is something that's definitely drifted around in the diet world for a while, and you may be wondering what that means exactly. So gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, rye, and barley. So wheat is the one that's difficult to avoid because all-purpose flour is made from wheat. And a lot of processed foods have all-purpose flour included. This could be things like pretzels and crackers, breakfast cereals, a lot of pastry type of foods are going to have gluten. It's also used as kind of an additive in a variety of different processed foods as well. So it can be a little tricky to avoid if you do eat a lot of processed foods. You may be wondering, is it worth it to eat gluten-free? If you would have asked me this question 5 years ago, if you should go gluten-free, I would have said, unless you have celiac disease, no. As a side note, celiac disease is an autoimmune disease where your body really freaks out if you consume gluten. You have really intense GI symptoms, and it damages the lining of your gut. That's a serious aversion and a sensitivity to gluten. So in that case, yes, absolutely. But like I said, 5 years ago, me would have said, unless that's you don't need to avoid gluten. My thoughts have changed dramatically. I've had several continuing education courses and done more research on this and seen more recent legitimate research looking at gluten. And there seems to be a lot of people that don't have celiac disease, but do have a sensitivity to gluten that can show up in a variety of different ways, whether it be brain fog or, just bloating, those sorts of things. So it may be something that you want to look into. If you're curious to know if you are sensitive to gluten, probably the best thing that you can do to figure that out would be sort of a mini elimination diet. So what that means is you would eliminate all the gluten from your diet. So no wheat products whatsoever, no rye, no barley, for maybe 4 to 6 weeks. So it really has time to get out of your system, and then introduce that back. Have some bread, some pasta, crackers, whatever it is, and just see how you feel for the next 2 to 3 days. If you find that let's say brain fog, if you find that brain fog goes away, you feel really great, and then whenever you reintroduce gluten-containing foods, the brain fog comes back and you really just don't feel sharp, then that might be an indication that gluten affects you in that way. Again, everybody's a little different, and we're finding now that everybody's sensitivity to it might be a little different. And you may find that gluten doesn't really affect you at all. So it's really hard to say right now who's at risk and who's not, but definitely something to explore if you think that might be a problematic food for you. Another something that I want to mention about gluten is just because a package or product or recipe is labeled gluten-free doesn't automatically make it healthy. There are plenty of gluten-free products that are still loaded with sugar and preservatives and junky oils and other things that aren't really doing us any favors in large amounts. So something to keep in mind that is certainly used as a gimmicky sort of something right now to get people to buy products thinking that they're healthier than they actually are. Another kind of clarification point is things like potatoes or rice or quinoa do not contain gluten. So just because something is starchy doesn't mean that it includes that protein. So something to think about, definitely a good option to explore if you think you might be sensitive to gluten. I hope this was helpful. If you have interest in other nutrition or wellness videos, please check out our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.